Heidi! Yay! Joy to hear from you. And how do you like my silly hat? This is for my friend Alicia. I'm staying with her. Thank you for being so patient. I've been traveling the last couple of days from East Coast to West Coast, and I had a million messages and stuff to do. So I pulled you some cards. Thank you for requesting a Kelly's Osho Zen reading. And let's see what's going on with you right now. So the first card is your theme card. Ooh, and you got conditioning. Pull that up there. That's you. In case you forgot, you're a lion. And this card suggests you're surrounded by sheep. Did you get this card last time? I think you did. Um, but anyways, this is just to remind you, yes, you are different. You're very different from the people that you're surrounded by at work, in family, and perhaps even in your social circles. And therefore, conditioning is all about the societal norms, manners, protocol, how we're supposed to act, how we're supposed to be, according to others. Sometimes that's in direct conflict with who we are. So when this card shows up, first it's saying be aware of when conditioning is being put on you and where it exists around you. For example, whenever you think I should do this, or I have to do this, or I must do this, or you hear a colleague say you have to do this, or this is the way to do it, or anything like that, know that that's conditioning. That's other people's opinions. They're not universal laws, they're just opinions. And manners, societal norms are just opinions, beliefs that, people agreed to years ago that we had no say in them. We had no say in these societal norms. I mean, who said men cannot wear skirts? Well, I tell them to go to Scotland or any Muslim country. That's ridiculous. Who makes up all these rules? People did in the past. And some of them are there to help us. It's a good idea to look both ways before crossing the street. But nothing's written in stone. It's all just opinions, other people's opinions. So the first step is be aware when something is conditioning. You don't have to do anything. But two, it's also a call for you to speak your truth, to be yourself, a call to say, be yourself, trust yourself, even if it contradicts or might be uncomfortable to be yourself. This is a call to speak your truth, especially, and my hands are like this, so I'm serious, especially when you feel, which is surely a fear, that it may upset others, or it may make them feel uncomfortable, it may make them mad, whatever, but just trust yourself. Every thought you have, every idea you have is a gift. So anyways, we'll just, sorry, the dog, that's something. That's what conditioning is about. And this is a big deal card, so this is not something that's every day, every moment you're going to be up against that. Well, I don't want to say against because that's duality thinking, but be aware of when, like, wow, like for a simple example, you're hungry, you're at the dinner table, and you're waiting for others to come, you're waiting for others to eat, that little ritual thing. It's called polite. Well, no, if you're hungry, eat. If you don't eat, you're going to get hypoglycemic. Okay, so anyways, I'm just leave that there. Let's go to the next card, which is your yin. That's what's going on in your mind right now. And you got the schizophrenia card. Okay, this is temporary. It's totally a mind card. And it's basically drawing to your attention that you're feeling split. And this is typical Our heart says do this, and our mind says, well, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough time, this will cause this, da, 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 da. Your mind will think of excuses why it's not a good idea. Now, let me just explain this. Your mind is simply, and I'm talking neuroscience here, this is not hippie speak, your mind is simply your body and soul's computer. It's been programmed, conditioned since you came out of the womb. I mean, that's just the binary code that was put together, and that can be changed. So this card says to watch where you're being torn. Is this in work? Is this at home? Is this in a relationship? Whatever. I'm sure the cards will let us know a little later on. We'll see. But you're feeling split. There's something you really want to do, you want to say, a direction you want to go, but your mind is giving you a million reasons why it's not a good idea. And basically, that's all just safety program. It's like, a perfect example. Here's a metaphor. How many times are you trying to get on your email account or your Facebook, and then it's like, what's the passcode? And you're like, oh, I don't remember. I have 9 million passcodes. Everybody wants a passcode. And then we go, that's just a security system, which I'm not even sure it really works, but we won't go into that right now. Yeah, I mean, internet security is kind of an illusion. Well, I mean, everything's an illusion, but definitely internet security. But my point is, sorry, sidetracked there, is, the brain, the ego set up security systems which were valid at the time. Kind of like Muslims wearing purdas. The whole reason purdas, women were put on those veils, was back in nomadic tribal wars. They wanted to hide their women, so to protect their women so they wouldn't be raped. But is that valid now? No. So no longer necessary. So anyways, go back. Heart. That's all about heart. Okay, I'll leave that there. Okay, next card is your yang. It's what you're projecting out, so it should be reflected in the experiences, events that are going on in your life right now. And you got intensity, so I'm curious to know what's going on. This just says that things are happening quickly, and perhaps you're feeling overwhelmed right now. And there's technically 3 ways to approach this. One, you can funnel that intensity, that energy, use it as personal fuel to do what your heart wants, as a kind of fuel and self-motivation. Or if you don't, if you become overwhelmed and you think about it too much, it can exhaust you and get burnout. Or you can take the Zen approach and just remove yourself from it. Look at it as the observer, be aware of it, and not let it impact you. No matter how intense things are going around you, again, you can either funnel that energy to your highest good and use that as fuel for you to take action, heart action, I might add, or if you don't do that and you let it get to you, well, then it'll exhaust you and burn you out. Or you take the Zen approach and you step away from it and go, look, all this intensity, all these things that are going on around me, they really have nothing to do with me. I'm just going to hold this space of peace and light and trust that everything will unfold naturally. So those are kind of the options there. Next is your to-do card, which is receptivity. So this card says, listen. Pay attention. Turn the awareness knob up. Listen, are you hearing the same songs over every time? Does a certain location keep showing up? Do you keep seeing certain symbols or images? Are you hearing the same conversations? I mean, it could be in commercials, billboards, whatever. If you look around and you see, and generally the trick is if you see or hear something at like 3 times, yeah, that's for you. You'll get to a certain point when you turn up your awareness that you won't need the 3 times. You'll oh, that's for me. That message is for me. But a good way to practice and turn up the volume of your awareness and receptivity is if anything appears at least 3 times, know that that is a direct message for you. If you're hearing a song over and over, look up the lyrics. Go on the internet, look at if a certain animal shows up, even a flower. you know, whatever, anything that's repetitive, that's for you. So this is like, pay attention. The universe is trying to help you, trying to guide you. So just turn up the volume. You know, anyways, let's go to your work and home and see what's going on. Comparison. Okay, that would kind of indicate to me that that's kind of where this is going through. Comparison. The lesson of this card, you've got bamboo, you've got oak, and I'm supposed to ask you which is stronger. Well, I'm going to tell you the trick. Bamboo is flexible, so when a hurricane comes, it bends with the storm and it does not get damaged. But an oak, a mighty oak tree, gets uprooted and dies. So one would say the bamboo is stronger. However, if I take a machete, I can chop down a bamboo in a second, whereas it would take me forever to chop down. You would need several chainsaws. Ask any tree person. Anyways, the message behind the card is comparison is pointless. Well, I don't want to say pointless. Everything has its unique strengths and everything has its unique weaknesses. And the only purpose comparison should really have is to help us identify our strengths and our weaknesses, as well as other people's strengths and weaknesses, and then being able to optimize our strengths and optimize other people's strengths in order to make, well, create a better relationship, a better situation. If we're talking about work, better products, better service, by playing on people's strengths, including your own. Excellent. So comparison it's kind of useless to compare something's better or worse. I mean, this could go for any situation because everything is unique in itself. So this card is a mind card, and it's saying catch yourself when you're comparing something's better. This could be an ex-partner, it could be yourself. This is just saying watch where you're doing that, because that's holding you back from hearing some messages in there for you. I'll just leave that there. Anyways, heart card, and this one almost jumped out of the deck when I pulled it. So, ooh, inner voice, big deal card. Okay, so this is, yeah, like what I was saying about schizophrenia, your heart, this is like, now is the time to really just silence everyone else's thoughts, opinions, judgments, because that's all they are. And I believe, at least, and not everybody shares this belief, that what we believe to be true is true for us. But that's not necessarily true for others. I mean, an easy example is in healthcare. Some people believe antibiotics will help certain infections. Some people are anti-antibiotics and think they're evil, so they do holistics. Well, guess what? The people that believe antibiotics work for them, it works for them. And the people who don't believe antibiotics work for them, and they believe that you know, sage and elderberry or whatever, those are the two that showed up, work for them instead, it does work for them. So know that whatever you believe to be true will be true for you. So if you believe, you know, you can have that floral shop and have a successful business with your floral therapy with a little bit of animal care and love and support on the side, if you believe that can be a success, if you believe that is possible, then it will happen eventually. But it all depends on the strength of your belief. And in order to know what your beliefs are, you need to listen to your inner voice and not anyone else's conditioning. You know, I'll put it this way, anything that's blown up, I mean, look at Oprah Winfrey. If she believed she was just this poor, abusive little black girl from Chicago and was worthless, if she actually believed that, she wouldn't be the mega super lighthouse star that she, I mean, Oprah Winfrey's a great example. She believed she could do it. I mean, I'm not saying it was easy, but you know what I'm saying? And she did. And look at, I mean, she's huge. So, anyways, time to do whatever you do, whether it's yoga, whether it's running, whether it's surfing, whether it's just standing out on the beach, whether, whatever works for you. Maybe go to the botanical gardens, the Miami Beach Botanical Gardens, or even there's the, where do they have the white party, the Vizcaya? Go, that's a great idea. Go to some botanical gardens alone. Bring your music or whatever, any tokens, and just zen out and see what shows up. What do you really want? What do you really believe? Anyways, I'm going, okay. So next card is Mind Spirit. And you got the friendliness card. Okay, so this is saying, yes, tap into your friend source. Tap in, surround yourself with positive, conscious, generous, loving friends. And take a break from the negative friends, or family. Take a break from those people, because right now you need all the support you can get, and you want it to be positive. People that see you and hear you and speak your language. And that doesn't, there's no judgment or anything. It's just like, okay, give them a break. Let the negative people do their stuff. Take a break from that. Surround yourself by positive, generous, loving, conscious community. Friends. Make new friends. That's going to add to your support. And true friends aren't going to tell you what you should or have to do. They're going to support you in your dreams no matter what your dreams are. And then lastly, this is your conclusion card. Trust. I love it. This is a beautiful card. This says, trust that everything that's happening right now is actually perfect. If you were viewing from here, if you were watching your life movie, this is just one scene. The next 2 weeks is just one scene. So just know this scene is you're in transition. And again, just to recap, be aware of where others are trying to control you through conditioning. And then you've got, the programming you get from society and education and your culture and be aware of that, identify that. And then again, like I said with here, this is about you speaking your truth. That means you vocalizing or expressing, writing, whatever, however you want to express. You can paint, you can make a flower arrangement, whatever, expressing your true voice, your true feelings. So you need to take the time to do that. And listen, there's guidance all around you. And look for those, hang around those people. That's just hanging around other light worker friends is just going to energize you. It's going to be healing. And guess what? It's healing and energizing to them too. It's a symbiotic relationship. So, and again, things are getting intense around you. I told you have 3 choices how to deal with it. And maybe, who knows, there might be a 4th choice that didn't show up. Maybe you'll think of a 4th option. But the bottom line is to just trust yourself first and foremost. So I hope this makes sense. Very hippie reading today. So I would love to get your feedback. I'd love to hear what's going on with you. And I'm sending you love and an avalanche of flowers. Okay, ciao.